For anyone that's successful, consistently profitable, they know what they're looking for as a trader. They're not watching or listening to anything I'm putting up. They've already found their way. I have students that don't sit in on these. They're making money. They're doing their own thing. I don't view that as disrespectful. I don't need their support. And I don't want you to be tethered to me. The whole point is for you to be independently minded, have a goal, a purpose, a principle-oriented approach to trading. So that way you know what you're doing, when you're going to do it, why you're going to do it, or why you're not going to do it. But a terrible thing occurs in the beginning, is where you waste a lot of time. And that time wasting can be based on following failed logic from failed mentors that don't have the evidence to show what they can anticipate in price action presenting itself in real time in all different time frames, which is why I do a lot of the teaching methodologies that I do. I use a lot of lower time frame charts, so that way there's a lot of examples. There's lots of examples, and it also teaches you to go in and not waste your time burning candlesticks needlessly. Because think about how much time from the very first day you started contemplating being a trader. You would look at these candlesticks on the chart and try to figure out what it means to you, like a scrying mirror. And you're looking at it, trying to get some kind of vision from it. Something's going to materialize, like hieroglyphics suddenly will make sense to you. Maybe you've read books. Maybe you looked at PDF files that's been circulated around the internet. Maybe you've watched YouTube videos from other mentors, other approaches to trading, and you've dabbled, not really made an attempt to trade with it or learn it, but you've dabbled with it, looked around and see, does it really get your gears going? Do you feel inspired by the methodology or the things that would be otherwise taught by the teacher, the method, or whatever it is that you're trying to do in trading? There's a lot of time wasted in the beginning doing those types of things. And unfortunately, that is a needful thing. It is a very, very needful thing. You have to do that. You have to allow yourself some time to figure out what direction you're going to go in. There's going to be lots of those opportunities to follow something that looks shiny and new, something that looks interesting, innovative, colorful. But really, if it doesn't really stick its hooks into you and really latch onto you and not let you go, it isn't for you. And that's how you know you found what it is that you should be doing, whether it be the PD array that I teach, or a model that someone else is teaching you, or if they have something they sell. If it really resonates with you and puts its hooks in you and you just cannot get away from it, it just keeps drawing you back, then it's just a matter of time that you have to invest to do very well with it, because something subconsciously resonates with that. And the uncertainty or the time required for you to get good at it is the uncomfortable, uncertainty of not warming up to the idea entirely. Wasting your time looking at drama-based content, whether it be things like on TV, like news. News is a terrible thing to watch. Worrying about other people's opinions about you, what you're doing, trying to compete with other people, trying to get the attention, the clout type thing. All those things are terrible time wasters. And negative thinking, toxic negative thinking. If you do a lot of that, what'll happen is over time, your mind will literally filter out any positive thing or any evidence to the contrary, because you'll be more prone to side with the negative view. That's the main staple of brainwashing. If you constantly are fed something that is untrue over and over and over and over again, and if you stay around that, eventually you'll submit to it and you'll believe it. Which is why I always bitch slap all these people out here. And the list is growing smaller each day now. But they'll say that this stuff doesn't work that you're learning. They'll say that I don't trade with a real account when it's right there in front of your faces. They'll say that I won't call the market before it happens. I do. They'll say that there's nobody making money with smart money concepts, and they're all over the place being interviewed, showing receipts of withdrawals and payouts, proving their executions. Like, at some point, if you listen to toxicity, you'll believe it because you need it to be that way, because it'll justify your own inability to stick with a process to learn it for yourself, or your own failures. I watched a young man the other day tweet to me. He says, "Fuck you and your ICT concepts." And I told him to eat a dick. And I fucking meant it. Because that's the very epitome of a failed motherfucker. That's a failure. That is a failure. Because you're not supposed to be trading in front of CPI. Now that sounds hypocritical because here you saw me make $7,000 doing it. But truth be told, I wanted to take a loss. You guys never see me doing that. And I wanted you to see it. I wanted to be wrong. I was showing my youngest son, I said, look, this is how bad it can be, but I'm not going to do a lot of contracts. I'll do a very small position, but it'll be big enough for some of you, most of you, to respect the fact that, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to do that if it was real money. But I can afford to lose that. I could afford to lose it. It's not going to break me to do it. Your mentors, your teachers aren't going to go out there willfully put themselves in a situation to try to lose money to teach you something to prevent you from wanting to do it yourself. But they'll go out there and try to do Olympic-sized feats and do max loss days on their live streams and try to peddle some bullshit like it works, and it doesn't. And nobody's making money consistently with it. But you look around in our community, there's people popping up every single week that are brand new, and they have done the things they were instructed to do, and they protected their attention span from bullshit, drama, time-wasting, vampiric things that this world will come at you with through social media, TV, movies, friendships, opinions, your family's opinions, the people you work with, Carl. All of that thing, all those things will be an impediment on your perception about what it is that you should be focused on right now. Because you're trying to burn those candlesticks faster than they're intended to burn. You know what I'm talking about. You're looking at that 15-minute candlestick and it feels like a lifetime. You want it to reach your take profit. And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you can't stand it. Your whole model's based on a 15-minute chart. But you'll drop down to a 1-minute chart, which you've never looked at before. You're not even interested in it, even though I show examples of me doing it precisely. My students do it. But you're not comfortable in that time frame. But you'll bend your rules to go down to a 1-minute chart because it seems faster. I can't wait for that 15-minute candlestick to finish. I wish it would burn faster. So let me just drop to a 1-minute chart. It'll feel like time's going by faster, and it's not going any faster. That time frame is not moving any faster. There's no reason for you to be afraid of that 1-minute chart or a 30-second chart. Some of you are freaking out saying, my son's trading a 30-second chart. Man, he's in the fast lane. You know, he's doing something that he's not ready for. He's trading price. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Only thing you're doing with that time-based chart is you're showing the highest fluctuation and lowest fluctuation for that interval, that it is measured the fluctuation of price within that duration of time. That's the only thing that it's recording. But price has done the same thing on all time frames. It's moved up and down to those same price levels. The myopic infancy of fearing lower time frame charts or calling them noise is just a testimony to your ignorance. And that's not something that's derogatory. It's just simply that you don't know what you're doing yet. He's learning, but he's doing something that I laid before him that is not even a complete model. And look what he's doing. What did you just say, ICT? You said that's not even a complete model. It's not, because he doesn't require the level, the higher time frame take profit level, the draw on liquidity, to be even reached. What? Yep. If there is this insatiable desire for you to get there faster, I'm hoping that you are encouraged by my son's attempts to do this and his development. He has 3 past combines, and he activated or paid for one of them to go into a funded account. So he only has 1 technically funded and 2 on the sides, where I guess if he doesn't do well, or if he does want to do more, he can activate them later on. But he started trading it last Friday. And I told him, not yesterday, Friday, but the previous week's Friday. And I told him, I said, listen, here's what I want you to do. You can see where the 15-minute, the hourly, the 4-hour, and daily lows and highs are. They're obvious. And right above that or below it is liquidity. You need to have an idea of which one you think the market's going to go to. But if you see a stop run, and this is the part where you guys have been asking, then you talk about it as a model. I'm doing it right now. I'm not going to do a fucking YouTube video about it, okay? Because you've already learned this. But because now my son's making real money with it, you all are interested in that. When it's something that you've already been introduced to. It's been taught ad nauseum. And it's simple, isn't it? It's real simple. Everything I've ever taught is simple. But what complicates it is you sitting down and figuring out what you want to do with all that material. I'm not failing you as a mentor by withholding information. You are not doing the work that's required for you to sit in front of these charts and study. And what is it that he's doing? He's looking for predominantly, I told him if it makes it easier for him to focus on a 15-minute chart or a 60-minute chart, so hourly or 15-minute time frame, he needs to see where the market is likely to draw to. That means if there's 2 relative equal highs and it's bullish for the day, and I lend him that experience. That part I lend to him. So for those that are out there saying, oh, you're doing it, you're doing all this. If I was fucking doing it, the fucking account would be over $12,000 right now. If I was doing it, it'd be over 12 grand. But he needs to do this. He needs to see what's possible in his own hands, and it's encouraging. And he's doing really well. He's not overconfident. He's actually very pleased. He's like, this is really neat, Dad. Like, this is nuts to make this kind of money. Which is, I mean, you and I talking, we're adults. We know what $200 a day is. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. But to an 18-year-old who used to work at a coffee shop and grossed $400 a week, but paid twice a month, bi-weekly, that's something significant to him. So I told him 15-minute chart, 60-minute chart. I will tell you what I think the bias is going to be for that day. And that'll teach you to focus. That's exactly what I was doing for my paid mentorship students. Every single day, I would tell them the bias. That's what they paid for. They paid for that mentorship. They paid for the experience that I was lending them. And they watched it happen 97, 98% of the time, literally come to pass. And it's all fucking documented. And anybody can say the shit they want to say, but it's all recorded. All time and date stamped, all before the fact. And ain't a fucking person, not one clown can say anything about it. And even my own students would have came forward and said, it didn't happen. And it never happened like that. And now you see it because it's for free. I'm doing it in front of all of you. So I'm mentoring him in a limited capacity, but requiring him to do all the work. But he wants to do the actual button pushing. Okay. 30-second chart. What you need to see is on a 1 or 5-minute chart, before you drop down to that 30-second chart, you have already arrived at what you think the market's likely to do. And this is the part that everybody that's brand new or impatient or just wants to watch a 5-minute fucking trainer video and think that they are going to figure it out. Let's cut through all the bullshit and too much talking ICT. You're boring shit. Fuck you. Get up the road. Go watch Joe Schmo. Okay, Mr. Reset. This is the real stuff. This is the part that you need to figure out. How do you trust that the market will go higher or lower? I can't tell you an everyday solution that you're going to trust, because sometimes I'll go into the marketplace and my bias may shift because the market will do something that I didn't want to see it do. And because I have experience in the navigational skills to work within that, the time that it takes me to change my mind, I don't have time to sit down and explain to you what just took place in the chart that make me change my mind, because I'm looking at a 1 minute chart and sometimes less. But remove all that and think about what I teach you on the market reviews and commentaries on the euro dollar. What were we aiming for? That old daily low. That's not support resistance. That's fucking liquidity. We were aiming for a move below the low. That's not support. Okay. We want to see it go down through it. We're targeting to it and through it. That is not fucking support resistance. We're going in with the idea that the market's going to draw towards those actual orders that will be resting below an old low or above an old high if we're bullish. And you stick with that idea until proven clearly that you're wrong. And that same approach, you use it to every time frame. And for my son, I told him, I said, it'll be easier for you, not perfect. It doesn't mean it's going to be flawless. You're going to lose. He will lose eventually. It will happen. He will have a losing day that causes him to have to sit still. Will that mean the model is broken? No. Some of you are just waiting for that to happen. Some of you are dying for that to happen. I'm not impatient about it. I know it's going to eventually materialize. But he stops. If he follows the rules, he stops. And then he'll think about and have to entertain the idea of what it feels like being in that negative day. But guess what he has? He has the experience of having done it now 6 days correctly and making over $200. That same $200, that's minuscule. Let me rephrase that. Okay. I'm talking as an American here. Okay. For folks that don't make that much money in the country that you're from, please do not be offended by what I just said. I'm not trying to say anything to make you feel uncomfortable or be condescending. But in America, $200 is not a lot of money. I mean, frankly, if you go to the grocery store, you can't even put a quarter of grocery cart's worth of things in here and not at least be at $200 in grocery costs now. It's ridiculous. But in terms of monetary, money, $200 is an insignificant amount of money. But in the hands of an 18-year-old that doesn't have a home or a car payment, all these extra things, or a child to take care of, thank God, that's significant. And he outpaced his new job that he just started Monday as an HVAC tech apprentice. He's trying to be a heating and air conditioning kind of guy. He wants to start his own business eventually doing that. That's wonderful. He outpaced both of his previous job, working in a coffee shop, and he outpaced the income with overtime at $16 an hour, which is where he's working for 90 days. And after that, he goes up to $19 an hour. He did more in 6 days using this model that's not even complete because it's a graduated model. What does that mean? What does that mean? If that hourly or 15-minute time frame draw on liquidity amounts, you think that the market's going to go higher or lower to that specific liquidity, then the only thing you're waiting for, if you're bearish, and I'll give you the example for being bearish, on the 5-minute or 1 minute, there has to be some short-term high traded above. Even in a run while the market's been going down, don't think model 2022. That's not what this is, okay? It's not that. He can take a trade with that model. Within that context of the market reversing, we don't need that. The market can be going down for the entirety of the day. If it hasn't traded to that 15-minute or hourly sell-side liquidity pool, it's not done. His model says, aim in that direction. If it's 50 handles to get to that low, doesn't matter. He's not holding for them 50 handles. He's trying to get 10. But why would he do that, ICT? He's supposed to be your son. Why would you tell him to do that? Because he's a fucking human being, just like you are. Why aren't you making money with everything I've already taught? Why aren't you out there passing combines? Why aren't you getting taking withdrawals from your Express accounts? Why aren't you doing that? Because other people are doing it. So stop putting fucking stupidity in the conversation. He has to learn, just like I had to learn. Every one of us has to go through that process. Learning how to do this takes time. It takes a lot of effort, and you have to wade through a lot of bullshit that you bring to it yourself. You do. He's brought it to himself. He has now scar tissue, trying to do it faster, trying to do it outside the rules I laid down from the first time. He blew his combine accounts. He's done it. He's done that damage. So now he has to go through what? The growing pains. And small little incremental wins and successes help mend that. Doesn't completely wipe it away, but it helps restore at least the proper mindset, and it encourages you. How many of you would have been encouraged if you would have made over $1,600 in 1 week? Trading a very small number of contracts. He did one trade that I'm aware of that he did 2 contracts on, but every other trade has been 1 contract of a mini, not a micro. He was adamant he doesn't want to do the micro. He goes, I want to do this, Dad. I want to make the $20 per point. I don't want to trade the $50 per point ES, because he thought that ES, the $50 would be more scarier. It's not. It's actually a smoother, slower delivery. I wanted him to be an ES, but I allowed him, like I allow you as your mentor, to bring his own personality into it, because you can't press everyone, even my son. You can't press everyone into a mold and make everybody come out like a cookie cutter result. It doesn't work that way, folks. It does not work that way. And if you believe these pieces of shit online that tell you that they can take everybody and turn them into the same thing, like a robot, repeating over and over again the same bullshit, their results don't speak that. They don't even have profitable students that are consistently making money. I had students leave my stuff, go somewhere else in clownery, make all kinds of videos, say they're going to do we're making so much money now. And they deleted everything because they've shit the bed. You can talk the game. You can talk all that shit. In the beginning, you're going to talk all that shit. I'm going to make a lot of money with ICT's concepts. I'm going to quit my job at this date. And then when you start trying to learn it, it's like, oh shit, what's going on here? You're rushing it. You're trying to burn those candlesticks too fast. And you're counting the grains of sand, thinking you're running out of time. You have to learn it by this time, or else. You're trying to master it. You won't master it. You're never going to master the market. You're never going to. I'm not a master of the market. I'll say that again. I am not a master of the market. I can only master myself periodically, because sometimes the human element in me creeps in. I'll be mad. I'll be discouraged about something that's going on in my personal life. I'll be distracted. I won't be in front of my charts when I should have been. I look at moves and I think to myself, okay, it would have been great to be in that. I'm not beating myself up about it, but I'm recognizing that. That's a character flaw. I'm human. You're going to have all those same things, but here's the worst part about it all for you. You don't know how to make money yet, but you feel rushed to do it. You got to keep up with the Joneses. You got to do everything else. And that's what my son wanted to do. Right away, he wanted to jump out there and be ICT Junior. Show the trolls what's what. And found out that it's not easy being me. It's not easy just going out there and taking some videos, taking some logic just heard from the lips of a man that's been doing it for 30 years and thinking that you can just walk out there and do the same thing. It doesn't work like that. It's harder. But he has to take that 15-minute or 60-minute chart and derive a draw on liquidity where he thinks the market's going to draw to. And as long as it hasn't traded down to it, if it trades to it one time, he's done. He can't use it. He can't use that framework. He has to wait another day. or trade something else, or wait till the afternoon. So he doesn't have a specific time. Like, he's not always operating in 10 o'clock till 11 o'clock. He'll trade when he sees that liquidity is presently a draw. And if he wants to be in front of the charts, 30 seconds allows him to take that 10 handle run. 30-second chart is doing 10 handles all over the place inside of 1 hour, which is why I've always laughed at these fucking clowns. Like, I could do their whole fucking month. I can make their whole fucking month with a real money account. I could do that in 60 fucking minutes. I will lap their ass. That's why they talk bullshit. They ain't done shit but talk shit. But you don't need to have your take profit or your draw on liquidity reach to for the model to work. You need to have an understanding of where the market is likely to reach to. Let me think of it like this. You're in a trade. You've been in a trade. You've taken a trade. You tried to do a combine. You did it with real money account, or you did it with demo. And you put the trade on, and you know you don't want to see it go to a specific price point. It may not be a stop loss that you actually put in there because you're afraid to put a stop loss in, because that confirms and solidifies you were wrong. Instead of saying, this is where I'm wrong and I don't want to lose any more than this. That's the proper mindset about using a stop loss, because you want to be right. You can't accept the fact that you're potentially wrong. If I was 100% accurate all the time, every single time, I knew there was no chance for any manual intervention to ever step in there, I would never use a stop loss. Why would I need one? I'd be right all the time, right? But having a stop loss is a testimony to you respecting the risk, which is required. In the beginning, you don't respect the risk. You concern yourself with the risk of being right or wrong. That's the limitations that you place on yourself in terms of mitigating anything in terms of risk. The risk of you taking a loss for the sake of doing it wrong, not for the basis of you only took this much as a loss in monetary sense. And there's a paradigm shift that has to take place. And I'm teaching him how to do it the only way I know how to teach it. Whereas you have to frame a 15-minute or a 60-minute draw on liquidity, where the market's likely to go. And then on a 1-minute or 5-minute chart, if you're bearish, there has to be some run above a 5-minute swing high, even while it's been going down. It has to go up above it and start trading lower again. And then once it does that, you can drop down into a 30-second chart and take a 30-second fair value gap. Because the damage has been done on the 5-minute chart. It could have been a stop run on a swing high in a 1-minute chart. See, that's what a high frequency trading algorithm is doing. So you don't fucking know that, because these clowns out there talking about algorithms, these wannabe quants. You might talk about all kinds of shit, call things quant. You may say your shit's algorithmic, but it's retail. But every fucking high frequency trading algorithm, every single one of them, has to have a disruption in order flow before they will institute a new order. That means they cannot go short until it goes up. It has to go up. Why do you think I taught you discount premium? Because I am algorithmic. Enigma is fucking talking to you. It's not a yin and yang fucking symbol on some bullshit. The market has to go up, purge some measure of liquidity. If the market does, I don't give a fuck what market it is. But if you're bearish and on a 5-minute or 1-minute chart, if a swing high, a short-term swing high on that 5 or 1-minute chart is taken out by one tick and it trades lower, as soon as it trades lower, on what time frame are you talking about? Whatever time frame that liquidity was taken on. If you see the swing high on the 5-minute chart has been pierced by one tick, is all it takes. It doesn't need to fucking close above it. It doesn't need to have a certain measure of handles above it. One tick. Once it does that, that's a disruption. That's a disruption in order flow. That's it. That starts the sell program. Then on a lower time frame, it can be a 5-second chart. It could be a 1-second chart. Okay, it doesn't matter. But I gave him a 30-second chart because it's easy to get in there and take a fair value gap after that disruption in order flow. Knowing that the market will gravitate towards that liquidity. We need not see it trade to it. Now, some of you that are familiar with watching lower time frames and have been with me for a while, your fucking gears are turning right now. You're like, holy shit. I can see this, and I'm not even looking at the fucking chart. I can understand exactly what he's saying right now. These juices are flowing on. Yes, 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 yes. It's there every day, every hour, every 15 fucking minutes. It's there. So forget the 90-second or 90-minute fucking bullshit. It's every 15 minutes. It's there. I literally could sit there all day long, trade just intraday volatility, just doing what I just told you, and mop the fucking floor with all these fucking people out there talking shit, selling shit, robots and stuff. It's dumb. It's dumb. You don't need all that stuff. As soon as you take the very first fair value gap on the 30-second chart after that 1 minute or 5 minute disruption in order flow, that stop run and that time frame starts to trade lower, the very next candle when it starts to trade down, okay, you drop down to the 30-second chart and you wait for that little 30-second retracement, because it's going to happen. And you look and see where your 10 handles would be. Place your limit order, put your stop loss in. He risks 12 handles. He's willing to take 12 handles as a hit to take 10 out. What the fuck did he just say? He just said he's using a negative R. Yes, because your reward to risk model bullshit is a myth. It's a fucking myth. You don't even trade with it. You want to talk about it and sell your courses, and these people write these fucking books, but they're not trading with these fucking things in mind. Every person that's ever come out there and said that shit, give it enough time, they eventually come clean and say, well, you know, it's theoretical that if you did this, you can get 20 to 1. It's theoretical you can get 200 to 1, but they haven't really done it themselves. But hey, theory sells, right?